Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Monday, September 21st, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. What news? What news? You know, you think it can't get better, and it does. This week's conference was a blowout. I should say last week's conference, but it still seems like this week because it just keeps staying with you. Kicked off by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. Insights, analysis, one of a kind. People came to us afterwards and said, if that's all we heard over 2 days, that would have been enough. A mind blower and a mind awakener. Insights, analysis, you'll never ever hear, but you'll be able to see it soon. Maybe if you buy that new video we're coming out with about the conference. Because also, of course, the other insights on trends analysis, what's going on, the big things that we're seeing besides what I was doing, Gary, no, nothing like it. Captivated the audience, one speaker after another. Tim Malcolm, talking about the millenniums, the millennials, the millennials, where they're at, where they're going, and of course, a wonderful, wonderful presentation by Lynn Stull on building communities through art, because you keep hearing me say it over and over and over and over and over and over that beauty is the antidote to fear, and art is the way of finding the true meaning of the human spirit. And boy, the spirit of Lynn came out in a way that really made it clear. What a conference. And that was just the beginning. And then the rally on Sunday, it was historic right here in historic Kingston. What a lineup. What a stage setting. What a beautiful day, and all the great people that came here. They came from around the world and from sea to shining sea to stand up for freedom and liberty and no foreign entanglements, and to create peace at home and abroad. Look at this. Look at this. It was once in a lifetime. Dr. Robert Thurman, after you heard him, you, whoa, people, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. And it just kept going on. And the bands that donated their time, one after another, Saints of Swing, oh, the Rosendale Band, the Pooks, one great group after another, playing in between the sets. Doug Grunter from WDST, a host of hosts, the energy, the professionalism. Gary No. Cindy Sheehan. You want to talk about a woman, boy. The real deal. No BS with her, boy. And she lost her son in a needless war called Iraq. One after another, captivating the audience, and the audience so engaged. And then there was Ralph Nader. It was sensational. The people were great. It was one spectacular kickoff to Occupy Peace, and this is the beginning. History was made at the most historic four corners in the United States. And as I said to everyone in closing out, anyone that calls themselves a Republican or a Democrat is an accomplice to murder. How many more people do they have to murder in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Libya? How many more do they have to murder in countries that they go into? And Dr. Paul Craig Roberts said something very interesting, that these crazy people running for office don't have a clue about, because what we did was, it was unique. I broke apart CNN's debate on Wednesday night and how all these people are wearing the Reagan mantle, and the debate held at the Reagan Library. And here we have, sitting next to everyone and sitting next to me, talking to the people, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, who sat right next to Reagan, laying it out straight. And everyone said, wow, I really think differently of Ronald Reagan after I heard it coming from Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. And as I said, this was a chance in a lifetime. He travels nowhere. And boy, did he love it up here. And when you hear it on the video, you're going to hear him say, you know, I can't speak like this down in Georgia. It's so wonderful to be here with people like you. What a man. What a man. And he said something very interesting. Again, as opposed to these psychopaths running for president. He said Reagan never wanted to defeat Russia. He didn't want to win. He just wanted to end it. This wasn't about winning the Cold War. He said that's a lie. It was never Reagan's intent. It was to end the Cold War. So they make it seem like they won it. And it was never about that. The United States went back on the deal and he laid it out. So on to the markets. Hey, remember we didn't do Trends in the News on Friday, of course, because of the conference. But hey, they didn't raise rates, right? We knew that. But look what happened when the markets opened and closed on Friday. Down almost 300 points. Down across Europe. On the good news that the Fed kept Ponzi alive. Think about it. So today, over there in Shanghai, went a little higher. And again, you look at that chart, man. There's Shanghai going down. In that last couple of hours, whew, the national team comes in and pumps it up. And then the Nikkei was down, Hang Seng was up, beep, bop, bop, little flat. Up here in the States, up 100 plus. No big deal. And Earl went up because rig count is down, means nothing. The volatility is in front of everyone's eyes. And gold was down a bit. So, what's the news? Well, the news is chip maker agrees to $4.6 billion merger. Because over the weekend, value of mega deals this year beats dot-com boom record to reach $1.2 trillion. And then you wake up a couple of days later and there's another one. The volume of mega deals this year has reached a record, surpassing that reached during the dot-com boom and the credit-fueled mergers and acquisition frenzy of the mid-2000s. The deal-making boom has coincided with an era of historically low interest rates. Boy, surprise, surprise, which was extended Thursday by the Federal Reserve. But if history is anything to go by, activity might well be at a peak. Data from Dealogic shows that sustained deal-making cycles from 1997 to 2000 and 2005 to 2008 were followed by, I know this is going to come as a shock, so take a deep breath. Sharp stock market falls and a corresponding decline in M&A activity. So, you got it. Not a lot of news on the economic front today, but there is news over there across the pond. How about those Greeks, man? Yep, they got it good. Yeah, Cyprus is back. He won. Lower turnout than normal. So the people got screwed by the guy that shafted them before. He's back. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Hey, and the Pope Pope, big news. The Pope's in Cuba. He's coming to New York. And not a peep about the Pope about a peace, huh? And a talking about a peace talk coming from the Pope. Yeah. The Pope, he's another Obama. All he does is put on a show and put down nothing other than a lot of talk. Because cat's not talking about peace. And he blames this refugee crisis on greed. No, how about blaming it on madmen bombing other countries? No, we'll stay out of that. To show you what a fraud the whole deal is and how unpopular peace can be, today, September 21st, International Peace Day. Google it up. See what you find. You'll find more about Occupy Peace. Because we're doing it. So going back to the Pope and doing nothing as the world is going to war, I'm just going to put a little information out there that clears it up and makes it straight so you can see where we're going. As the Pope blesses the crowds. German coalition strain show as minister breaks ranks on migrants. And it goes on and on. The massive influx of asylum seekers has prompted a widespread domestic criticism suggesting that the EU should set an overall cap beyond which refugees would be sent back to the region of origin. Just keeps going on. Go to the next page of the Financial Times, page 2. EU warned it has no control of borders. No kidding. No kidding. Imagine tens of thousands of people. Women, children, men, boys. Flooding over. What are you going to do? Start shooting them? Maybe. Fidesz's hardline migrant stance wins plaudits in Hungary. Yep, as the number of migrants stranded under the searing Balkan sun continue to swell, Hungary, which closed its borders and used tear gas when some attempted to break through last week, faces diplomatic isolation. Hey, wait a minute. The Germans want to close down the numbers too now. Yeah. So, Hungary's premier warns of a limitless supply of Muslim immigrants creating parallel societies that we remain unintegrated and eventually outnumber Europeans. Not only Muslim, man. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from all races, creeds, and religions and colors. They're just going to keep flooding in. He goes on, the Premier's approach has won plaudits on Hungary's right. Andris Stumpf, a conservative commentator, says Hungary is lucky to have Orban in charge. Right, left, doesn't matter. Those are just silly numbers. Because we've got to call Donald Trump, who he is too. Yeah, keep going. Young Iraqis join the exodus to Europe. Why are they leaving? Their country's in such beautiful shape. After being bombed for what? 12, 13 years? And they show a picture, this guy's 24 years old. Oh yeah, since he's 12, they've been bombing. They destroyed the country. It's all he's ever known, all his life. Arrival of 1,000 migrants. Tests continent's unity. And coalition widens Yemen airstrikes. And you know who the coalition is? Well, it's the United States as well. And we're providing them with intelligence. Yep. 8 strikes hit a school on Sunday. It's only a school and they're only Yemenis. And it just keeps going. Good news is U.S. will accept more refugees as crisis grows. And it will grow because they're stepping it up, moving it up. going on out to war. But not us. We're occupying peace. Again, this is just the beginning. A great conference. We're going to have a lot more going on. Wait till you see these videos. The conference video will go out. It is one of a kind. Blow you away. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.